What a great way to start this vlog off. I just got out of the gym. I did my leg day today. You know, in the last vlog, I talked about how I hadn't done legs in almost 2 weeks. But I think in this case, that actually helped. I've noticed that my strength hasn't really changed. In fact, it felt a bit better. So I think really all I needed was some rest. I think it's important not to make a habit out of skipping the gym that much. I think it was just, certain circumstances that prevented me from doing so. So I don't want to ever use this as an excuse to skip more leg days in the future, but yeah, I think that rest really helped. Let's see what else goes on this week. Hello, Flagg checking in, and welcome to another installment of my vlog. So the first thing I want to address is this vlog might be coming out a day or two later than I planned. I like to do these every other Friday, but schedule's been a bit all over the place and I've had a few dips in motivation. Also, I am wearing glasses right now. That's because I got down to my last 2 daily contacts, but I will be picking those up later today. I would say these past couple of weeks have been pretty productive. Like looking at my planner, I got about 85 to 90% of the stuff done that I set out to do. Especially in that first week, I actually really surprised myself. And it was all about me not making excuses like I mentioned in my last video. That said, there are a few things I didn't really get to do. So first thing is my stop motion project that I'm working on. That thing's been scripted for a while and I have certain things built for it, but I can't really start production until I finally get that new desk, which, I still haven't got set up. I still need to either go thrifting for one or order one. I just haven't gotten around to that just because I've been so busy. But with my internship still going in just about every day of the week, still keeping up with the International Students Club, which is like twice a week, still trying to keep my 3 days on with the weightlifting, which I alternate days with jiu-jitsu with. And yeah, let's see what I've been up to since then. So the first major thing I did was go to the Titanic Museum here in Tennessee with a good lifelong friend. Now it's been around for years at this point, but I just never got around to going. It has always kind of interested me though. So when my friend asked if I wanted to go, I'm like, sure, this could be cool. So we went, he'd been before, and honestly, he really impressed me with his knowledge about the Titanic. But unfortunately, we couldn't really film while we were going on the tour. We could take several pictures, and I might try to edit them in here and there. My favorite part was this massive Lego replica. But we did get to film a bit outside, take a few pictures. They have a small replica of the Titanic as part of the museum, like as part of the building. They did have an ice cream shop, which we didn't stop at, but it seemed pretty interesting. And also, the next day after that, we went to a convention closer to my neck of the woods over in Kingsport, Smoky Mountain Fan Fest, which I've gone to like 2 or 3 times before. Like, we got to meet some really cool guests, actually. There was Ross Marquand. You might know him as the Red Skull in Infinity War, or as his character I can't remember the name of from The Walking Dead. And he's also the current voice of Professor X in X-Men 97. And he was a really cool, down-to-earth guy. Like, I literally got to talk to him for like 5 to 10 minutes, and we even watched the X-Men 97 Season 2 trailer together. Such an awesome, down-to-earth guy. Would love to nerd out with him again in the future if given the opportunity. Also got to meet Tyler Mane. So he played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie and also reprised the role in Deadpool and Wolverine. And he also played Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween movies. And we watched the first Rob Zombie Halloween movie the night before we went to the convention. Just as a nice way to like prepare and like have something to talk about. My friend even got him to sign his copy of the first and second movie. Now, he gave me a lot of crap because I was wearing this Alex Ross Wolverine shirt. I'll put a picture right here. And he just kept jokingly like making these remarks at my expense. But no, he was a really nice guy, also really tall. But yeah, next time I'll do my due diligence, and I joked that if I ever meet Hugh Jackman, I'll find a Sabretooth shirt to wear around him. Also got to meet and take a picture with Vincent Martella, who plays Phineas on Phineas and Ferb, and he also played Greg on Everybody Hates Chris. He's been in several other shows since then, but it's really cool to meet him. He was also really nice, even though our interaction was a bit more brief. I should also note that at the convention there were a few other cool guests, including Zachary Gordon, who played Greg Heffley in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I didn't get a picture with him, but I got to talk with him, and my friend got his copy of the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid book signed by him. He was also like really cool, just gave me the energy of like, yeah, this is just some dude that had a really cool childhood, and that was awesome. He had a concert after the con we unfortunately didn't get to go to. And there are a bunch of other guests like I'd seen at other cons before, so I didn't really spend any time like getting in their lines or talking to them. But no, a lot of cool people, a lot of cool vendors. Now on to the bike ride that I mentioned. I got to go on this thing called the Taco Trek here in Johnson City, Tennessee, which starts in downtown Johnson City and it ends at this taco shop also in downtown Johnson City, so it kind of makes a loop. It goes on for about 30 to 35 minutes. I thought that was really fun. I unfortunately didn't get to film anything while I was riding, but I had a really good time, and I'll show you a little bit of footage from like the start of the ride and the end of the ride, and maybe a couple of other things I filmed during it. So tomorrow there's a bike ride I'll be participating in, so I just went to campus to rent a bike and I rode it back here. So I'll try to film some there. I'll catch up with you in a little bit. So initially we were a bit worried that it would be rainy, but luckily the weather cleared up by the time we actually started the ride. Went on for about 30-ish minutes, pretty smooth overall. Here I am after the ride, just taking a nice video of myself in the sign for Johnson City, and afterward we went to Seven Brew. And just recently I got to go visit Elizabethton. They have these things called the First Fridays of every month where they have like a celebration downtown with vendors and whatnot. And I went with a couple of friends from the International Students Association. Anyway, I've also continued to go to the International Students Club meetings, and I got to teach a group how to play Catan, and that went on for a couple of meetings, because, the first time I had to kind of teach everyone how to play, and sometimes those rounds can go on for a long time. But everyone seemed to really enjoy it. Next time I'll bring in seafarers, because I think that makes the game a lot better. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of wanting to set up a regular board game club through the summer. I'm thinking every Saturday. So I'll see how that goes as well. Now, one thing I do have to admit is that time management can be really hard. There are a lot of things I want to do and seemingly not enough hours in the day. Now, I don't want to use that as an excuse. Like I said in my last video, the last thing I want to do is make excuses like that consistently. But I think the fact that I got a lot done that I set out to do, even stuff that I thought I wouldn't get done, says a lot about my effort. So it's not always a matter of just like, make time for this or, just do it. Sometimes I get genuinely exhausted. But I'm working on that. I'm working on chunking things out to where I guess I can have a lighter or more like split up workload throughout the week, especially with stuff like stop motion or other projects that are under wraps. So we'll see how that goes, but yeah, it certainly is hard. It got me thinking a lot about, when I officially enter the workforce after I get my master's degree, how exactly I'm going to divide up my time and like find time for like certain things that I like to do. Like, who knows what my hours are going to be? Who knows what my day-to-day is going to look like? But I'm sure future me will figure that out. But yeah, hopefully the point I was trying to make there was coherent. I feel like I ramble a bit in these videos. It's something I'm trying to work on. Like even right now, I wrote some notes on like this little slip of paper to kind of keep my thoughts organized, and who knows how many takes, it took me to actually film something that I was okay with editing together and posting. But until next time, cheers.